Hi, everyone, and welcome to the third day of our 2020 Tempe Interhouse Debate Competition in Pursuit of Disputes. Today, we have the Year 9s debating the topic. This house believes that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. For our first debate, we have Tiger as government and Dragon as opposition. And without further ado, I call on the Prime Minister to give their opening speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. You may begin.
Good afternoon, dear friends and teachers. I'm the Prime Minister of my house, and my team and I strongly believe that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. My first point that I would like to address would be the beauty standards in K-pop. Jonghyun was one of the original stars and leading light of K-pop. The beloved lead singer of boy band SHINee sadly passed away on December 18, 2017, because his manager had forced him for plastic surgery along with other reasons. Idols are seen as objects of aesthetic purity. Thus, it is not unusual for K-pop idols to get plastic surgery done to achieve the unrealistic beauty standards in Korean society of pale skin and extremely thin bodies. Female artists are sexualized from a young age, a concept that is vastly evident in a patriarchal and capitalist society. Western artists have way more artistic control over their work. There are no age barriers for Western artists. Rolling Stones are still famous today, but in K-pop, ageism isn't rife with an idol is considered old at 30. Talking about management groups, K-pop is known to have one of the most manufactured management groups. Physical and sexual abuse is widespread in the K-pop industry. The group Eastlight suffered physical and verbal violence at the hands of their producers since before they were teenagers. Over 4 years, they were beaten with baseball bats and tortured with guitar strings tied around their necks, among other things. American music likes to pride itself more often than not on its organic and creative process behind the music. Artists are encouraged to think outside the box and do stuff that no other artist is willing to do. K-pop, on the other hand, follows a very rigid guideline. This guideline is why all K-pop songs follow a certain concept for each album. They all have.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. We will move on to 1 minute of POIs. I will give the judges and your fellow debaters a few seconds to type out their POIs. And your 1 minute begins now.
How do beauty standards relate to music?
Other genres of music don't really have the management doesn't force the people or like their artists to go into a particular style, but K-pop, that's very important in it. And K-pop idols usually have to have a thin body and pale shape, and this relates to music because artists can't really focus on their music if they keep on thinking of their looks, and obviously this affects how they, work in the music industry because they are too into their looks.
Are you aware that many female Western artists also have been sexually abused by their producers and managers?
Yeah, but it's very common in K-pop industry too.
Thank you very much. Your 1 minute has elapsed. I now call on the leader of opposition to give their opening speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera.
Okay, hello. My name is. I am the leader of opposition, and firstly, I would like to say that K-pop is no longer music; it is a culture. In association with their Love Yourself series, BTS, along with their partnership of South Korean and Japanese community for UNICEF, started a Love Yourself campaign. This 2-year anti-violence campaign aims to bring happy change in everyone's life. According to Billboard's, their album, which is sung in Korean, became the first primarily foreign language #1 album in over 12 years. Not only that, but people say that their subject of music has played a part in their success. While many K-pop songs are about relationship and love, BTS cover subjects that not many bands do, like bullying, elitism, and mental health. Furthermore, BTS and K-pop in general have wowed the world with their slick dance moves and extremely impressive music videos. They have attracted a loyal group of fans who have fallen in love with their music even more. They have grown in success, and all of this did not achieve overnight. They have all been together for 10 years and have a close relationship with their fans on social media. Unlike other bands, BTS are actually managed by a quite small agency and are allowed to do a little bit more of what they want. With all of this in mind, BTS is not only a band to rise on occasion in media, with the many other K-pop stars such as Blackpink, EXO, and Stray Kids have made their mark, with Blackpink representing Asian culture and womanhood when performing at the infamous summer festival Coachella. But back to their music, K-pop has redefined what it means to be a pop artist. To find evidence, we don't have to look far from home, with over 16,000 people attending the Blackpink concert in KL in February last year. Finally, K-pop cannot be dismissed as from the world of culture. Many people worldwide have taken influence from their extensive dances and fashion, overall creating an iconic...
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. We will now move into 1 minute of POIs, beginning now.
Are you aware that there are also other Western artists that UNICEF ambassadors such as Selena Gomez?
Yes, I am aware.
And how does this make K-pop unique?
K-pop is unique because the opposition whip will answer that.
Can you give more examples of artists in K-pop who have done something to help, like BTS?
The opposition whip will also answer that.
Can I ask a question?
Please type your POIs into the meeting chat. And your speaking time for POIs has now elapsed. I now call on the Deputy Prime Minister to give their speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. You may begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the Deputy Prime Minister, and I disagree with what the opposition leader said. BTS is the most successful K-pop group out there as of now, therefore I will be using them as a reference point. And for my main Western pop band, I'm using One Direction, which is arguably the most successful Western boy band of all time. I will also be focusing more on Western pop music. There are many successful pop singers whose songs have reached the Billboard Hot 100s. An example of this is Circles, a song by Post Malone, has been on the Billboard Hot 100s for 59 weeks, is still ascending and shows no sign of descending. While Dynamite by BTS, which has been on the charts for 9 weeks, is already descending. Some people believe that K-pop isn't so much on the Billboard Hot 100s because of racism. That isn't true. There have been other genres of music on the Billboard, such as Latina songs. Despacito was on the Billboard #1 in 2017. Pop itself originated and was made popular by Britain and the US. And while there's a niche of K-pop fans worldwide, the point still stands that it isn't as successful as American pop. Usually K-pop songs originate from Western pop music. Idols companies usually add Korean lyrics to Western demos. That's why in the credits you will almost always see at least one Western composer or lyricist. K-pop fans have a bias towards K-pop, that's why they say it's better. But the general consensus is that Western pop dominates the pop industry, since it's the original. K-pop is a selective market. Don't assume that everyone in Korea likes K-pop, just like we don't assume that everyone in the US or England likes Western pop music. In reality, the K-pop market isn't as big as you think it is. Internationally, it may seem like it gets a lot of support, and that's mostly because every K-pop fan worldwide seems to gather in certain social media hubs. There's a reason why K-pop idols look up to Western artists 90% of the time. So in conclusion, this house believes that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now move into 1 minute of POIs, beginning now.
What makes Western music better than K-pop, other than it being the original, as you say?
Western pop music is in English, and usually that's like the worldwide language that everybody knows, so it's a lot easier for people to understand. While K-pop, not many people understand the lyrics. It's mostly about the dancing or their, but I'm not saying that they don't make good music, but a lot of people don't understand the word.
Then why have there been Latin songs on the Billboard Top 100s? Like Despacito, as you said.
Despacito isn't also fully Spanish. It has some English in it, so people are generally can understand what it basically means.
Doesn't K-pop do the same? Don't they blend English and Korean?
Only some of their songs.
Thank you
not
very
all
much.
of
Your
them.
speaking time has now elapsed. Please mute your mic, and I call on the Deputy Opposition Leader to give their speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. All right, you may begin.
Hello, judges and government. My name is Kayla and I'm Deputy Opposition Leader. Firstly, K-pop is a unique type of music which consists of all the best parts of other pop, as the Deputy Prime Minister said. As this is a cross-cultural media, it takes inspiration from lots of different genres like jazz, hip-hop, experimental, and so on, while never straying too far from traditional Korean music. Korean music videos are often successful in incorporating cultural representation. This can be educational for many of their fans, regardless of whether or not they're Korean, by teaching them about Korean culture. One example of this is Arario by Top Dog, the title of which comes from the lyrics of a famous Korean folk song, Arirang. The music video also fuses both traditional and contemporary elements. The traditional references present in the music include the gayadum and dangju, which are traditional instruments. There also include traditional clothing and lion dance, as well as pungmul, a folk music tradition which includes dancing and singing. If you're looking to learn a new language, studies show that one of the most efficient ways is to listen to music or watch movies in that language. Certain K-pop groups have both, like BTS, Burn the Stage the movie, Blackpink, Light Up the Sky. Listening to music helps with memorization, as scientists have proven in multiple experiments. Listening to songs in a foreign language, take Korean for example, can help you to learn the phrases, pick up on the pronunciation, and enrich your vocabulary in ways that studying the language won't achieve. In conclusion, K-pop is beneficial to younger people and anyone who listens to their music for many reasons. It can increase their language skills by having them research the lyrics to be able to sing it, or by them just listening to it and picking up pronunciation. It also teaches everyone about their culture in a way that isn't boring or over the top. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now move into 1 minute of POIs beginning now.
Doesn't K-pop culturally appropriate other cultures, such as Blackpink? In one of the songs, they use bindis, which is an Indian instrument, without any of the members being Indian. What do you say about this?
I think that it is K-pop showing their appreciation for different cultures, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not also representing their own culture, which is shown in more music videos.
You said that Korean K-pop helps with learning Korean. Doesn't Western music do the same for non-English speakers?
Yes, but
So
English is more of a globally spoken language, so more people would know English anyways.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. I call on the Member of Parliament to give their speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. You may begin.
Good afternoon, I'm the Member of Parliament, and today I will be presenting my points as to why me and my house think that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. I'd like to start by saying English is a universal language. Why? Because even in many countries in which English isn't their first language, it is still taught as a subject in school. Therefore, any material to do with Western culture or the English language is often widespread. For example, music made by Western artists. From this point itself, it is clear that though K-pop as a genre isn't worse or not as good as Western music, it just isn't as well known. In the past few years, it's true that K-pop has grown exponentially, and groups such as BTS and Blackpink have garnered worldwide recognition. However, genres like pop, R&B, rap, etc. have garnered worldwide recognition.
Pop, R&B, rap, etc. have been famous worldwide for decades and arguably still is now. The group Sotaji and Boys were the first group that debuted in 1992, which introduced a new genre to Korea, and they were heavily inspired by many different genres of popular Western music. Bands like Queen, the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones influenced many all over the world. Their significance shows that they primarily are the base of the pop industry. Since Western artists generally have been around and in the pop industry for longer than K-pop idols, a lot of aspiring youths look up to them and are inspired to become artists because of them. K-pop as a whole also has a very tedious and harsh training system. Due to that, it does force a lot of trainees to go on diets and physically and mentally exhaust themselves. Idols don't have it easy either. Korea has a strict beauty standard, and not abiding to it can result in nationwide slander, which can take a toll on one's mental health. K-pop idols don't have as much freedom. The industry as a whole is stricter than that of Western industries. A comparison is dating bans that are put on K-pop idols but not Western idols. If you're an artist under the Korean label JYP Entertainment, you aren't allowed to date for the first 3 years of your career. Whereas typically you'd see Western artists have the freedom to date whoever they wish.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed, so we'll move on to 1 minute of POIs beginning now.
What is the most common definition of inferior? You said less well known, but is that all that measures inferiority?
My opinion, inferiority means the quality and the quality of something and how it's less good than another thing.
Don't you think it's a bit unfair to compare K-pop, which is an up-and-coming genre, to well-established genres that have reigned for decades, since we haven't really seen the full longevity of K-pop?
That is exactly why it is more inferior than other genres.
But it's only just started picking up steam, hasn't it?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. I now call on the member of opposition to give their speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. Thank you. You may begin.
Hello, judges and government. My name is Amarleen. The topics I will be explaining are the following: the impacts of K-pop in people's workout and its positive effect on our generation. To begin, K-pop X Fitness is a workout involving easy and simple ways to get in shape, as well as it offers various intensities and a range of choices available for everyone. K-pop X Fitness is featured in KBS World TV for being an innovative K-pop workout and was engaged by K-pop Highway Radio Station USA. Additionally, it became the first largest online K-pop workout in history. Moving on, K-pop has made positive influences on teenagers in some Asian countries, including Vietnam. It cannot be denied that in addition to a type of entertainment, K-pop functions as a cultural bridge, helping to improve the understanding of Asian cultures and Korean culture in particular, whereas American singers create either sexual songs or base their music on the idea of breakup. While K-pop idols compose songs that genuinely mean something and they really can connect with the fans through those meaningful lyrics, it has also benefited introverted people, as K-pop is a fantastic way to find like-minded people who enjoy similar likings as them. Overall, it's easy to dismiss K-pop as something silly and childish. Many fans feel that without K-pop, they would not have made it through the difficult times in their lives. It's time for the world to realize just how important music and the community around it can be, as in the end, the genre of music has a special way of bringing light and hope into people's dark times. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Given that you ended your speech nearly 20 seconds early, we will now give the people some time to type out their POIs. All right. We will now move into 1 minute of POIs beginning now.
You mentioned K-pop fitness, but don't you think that the fitness groups applies too much pressure for K-pop idols, as they have a whole dance choreography to learn and fix their voices along with fitness?
Well, K-pop stars, I think they just also want to please the audience rather than themselves. So like by enforcing something that will also help the audience makes like K-pop more likable.
as it gets the audience involved also.
You said that the lyrics have a meaning. How can you explain this lyric from the song Dynamite by BTS? Cup of milk, let's rock and roll, King Kong, kick the drum rolling on like a stone.
Again, some lyrics don't have a meaningful meaning. It might just be something fun and catchy to get like especially the younger generation engaged into their content.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. I call on the government whip to make their final speech. Please unmute yourself and turn on your camera. You may begin.
I am the government whip, and I disagree with what the member of opposition has said, as my house believes that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. Pop itself was originated by the Britain and the US. Like what the Deputy Prime Minister said, almost every single K-pop song out there has essentially borrowed inspiration from Western pop music. In American pop, labels generally choose stars based on their natural talents. Singers are expected to already have the training and skill level required to be professional performers at the time of their audition or contract signing.
All right, yeah, it seems that we are facing some technical difficulties. Please resume your speech from wherever you think you left off. The timer has been paused. Tell me when you are ready to restart. Not restart, continue.
Yeah, you can start.
Please continue.
Any training they received prior to singing was on their own time, with their own money. Idols, on the other hand, can be chosen for a number of reasons. Many, like BTS Jin, were scouted on the streets for their striking visuals. Others, like were chosen strategically based on their nationality. In American pop, there is no standard trainee system. Popular 1990 girls and boy groups like the Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys were performed through open auditions and debuted within 1 to 2 years. Once a group is formed, there is really a question of whether or not the group will debut. In K-pop, the training period is much longer and more uncertain. Idols sign on with a company without knowing which group they will eventually become part of, if they become part of the group at all. It's not unheard of for K-pop idols to train for as long as 7 years and still not debut. Twice Jihyo trained for 10 years before debuting. So as Chan from Stray Kids, he trained for around 10 years as well. Like what the member of government said, K-pop has a very harsh training system. Due to that, they waste their lives away without a certainty of debuting. So in conclusion, the government team has concluded that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. We will now move into our final minute of POIs for the government team. You may begin now.
Western pop music has taken a lot from the traditional music of people of color. Yet you are praising Western music here. How can you apply your argument fairly?
Because like in K-pop, they generally, like what my other team members said, they generally only choose people with very good beauty standards. And so you rarely really see any, not to be racist or anything, you rarely really see any like dark skin colors in K-pop, like compared to Western pop music.
But why people in Western music steal black music all the time? What's the difference?
Originally from the start, the first song ever created was jazz, and it was created from black people. So, but then also in Western music, there were also black and white people in the same group as well. No racism or anything here.
Thank you very much. Your time has elapsed. I now call on the opposition whip to make their final speech.
Okay.
You may begin.
Seungri from Big Bang donated $89,000 to Green Umbrella Child Fund Korea to celebrate his birthday. And 101 Kang Daniel donated $11,000 to Myral Welfare that covers children's medical bills and things that they cannot afford, like education. Yes, K-pop culture is shown in their music videos and songs all together. And even if they're manufactured by their managers, they have the rights in the contracts to add whatever they want, especially if it's a smaller agency that is not well known. It is also their choice to add their culture, and if they do, it is their culture they choose to add and therefore have in Korean culture. In conclusion, this is why we think that K-pop is inferior to other music, having that they are all a part of a charity and they are carbon neutral, and the fact that they add their own culture. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We will now move into our final minute of POIs for this debate. Given that you have ended your, okay, we will not be pausing for a while. You may begin your 1 minute of POIs now.
What percentage of the income is a donation like that? What relevance do these things have to the actual music?
The relevance is from their one. So Seungri donated his money that he got from one of his songs. I'm not sure what song it was, but he donated 75% of his money from the song to that Umbrella Child Fund. And 101, King Daniel won a lottery and he donated all of that money to the Myra welfare that covers children's medical bills.
Are you aware that Seungri has been indicted on charges of prostitution?
Yes, I am.
Many Western artists have donated as well. So how does this differ from K-pop?
It doesn't differ anything from K-pop, as they do donate, and I do say yes, they do.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed, and that draws us, please mute yourself again. And that draws us to the conclusion of our first debate for today. This was Tiger v. Dragon on whether K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. Thank you very much to all debaters and all judges. Audience, don't worry, we'll be back in a few minutes with our second debate, Falcon v. Phoenix, on the same topic. Is K-pop more inferior to other genres of music? Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Year 9 debate. Right now is Falcon as government and Phoenix as opposition. Again, on the topic, this house believes that K-pop is inferior to other genres of music. And without further ado, I call on the Prime Minister to give their opening speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. You may begin.
Okay. Good afternoon to all the fellow participants, judges, and audience. I would like to start this debate with the first topic from the government team as to why K-pop is inferior to other types of music genres. K-pop is a well-known music genre all over the world, but have you ever wondered why? K-pop stars are mostly known for their looks. Their faces are perfect and scarcely any flaws can be seen. Their appearances are similar to toy dolls with gorgeous facial features. If one was to hear the word K-pop, they would instinctively think of the singers and their faces. The music that they produce is hardly mentioned or portrayed as the main reason for K-pop's outstanding popularity. Their music is just like any other ordinary type of pop music. There's nothing spectacular about it, with the common upbeat and enthusiastic melodies. K-pop only gives extra recognition for the singer's appearance. For example, if you were to ask a fan about K-pop, they would usually talk about the looks of the singers instead of the music. They have to rely on the quality of their appearance in order to be known and adored across the world. If K-pop stars look like normal people with common flaws such as wrinkles, there's an enormous chance that their music would not be as well known as it is today. People would not view their work as something remarkable. Western pop celebrities such as Rihanna have acne, yet they and their music are just as adored and loved globally. In conclusion, K-pop stars are mostly admired for their appearance. Their music is ordinary and not the main reason why K-pop is recognized. This concludes my speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Given that you have ended your speech early, we will give people some time to submit their POIs. All right, your 1 minute of your 1 minute of POIs will begin now.
Isn't Western music the same? A lot of fans love Western idols for their looks as well.
But the K-pop fandom is obviously a lot more obsessed with their looks. Like, for example, Alan Walker, not a lot of people know how he looks, and yet a lot of people love him. And a lot of fans of K-pop, they have blogs and scrapbooks of their idols, which show that they are clearly really obsessed with them. And in these blogs, they don't really mention their music. Instead, there are mainly pictures and descriptions of the person of the K-pop idols.
Would you say that there's also tremendous pressure on Rihanna as well? Like other Western idols have to keep up with beauty standards as well?
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has elapsed. I now call on the opposition leader to give their opening speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera.
Good afternoon, my name is Agnes and I'm the opposition leader. And we believe that K-pop is not an inferior topic because it is incredibly popular. Music is subjective, it is all up to personal opinion, so no one can say that one genre of music is worse than the other or vice versa. K-pop is the 7th most listened to genre worldwide in 2019. With over 41 billion streams on Spotify, BTS, one of the biggest K-pop groups, reached first place on the Billboard's Hot 100 songs with their song Dynamite. When it came out, there are many popular boy and girl groups and even some individual performers, most of which are from the 4 main production companies. The 4 leading companies in the K-pop industry that own some of the most popular groups such as SM Entertainment, JY Entertainment, JYP Entertainment, and Big Hit Entertainment who owns BTS. For example, BTS is the highest paid and most popular K-pop group, earning 57 million in pre-tax income last year, according to Forbes. The group is worth 3.6 billion to South Korea's economy, contributing to a surge of tourism and increasing in the appeal of South Korean products. K-pop is also a very broad genre with music influences from all around the world. some of which the big companies like SM Entertainment hire foreign music producers to come up with music and lyrics. Pre-translation, which means they are heavily influenced by other genres of music too. So there's a broad range of music taste for anyone to enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Opposition Leader. We will now move into 1 minute of POIs after giving everyone a few seconds to submit their questions. And we will begin now.
You say that music is entirely subjective and it is pointless to debate between different genres. Yet we see debate online every day between comparing artists and so forth. Isn't there some meaningful element to all of this?
There are meaningful elements in debating music genres, but nothing is below the other in terms of whether it's superior or inferior. It's all up to the person's music taste and what they like to listen to.
Is it not true that K-pop idols have a role just for the visuals of the group? Like it's all based on their looks, such as Jisoo of Blackpink. Why would the looks be important when it's supposed to be auditory?
They put in a lot of effort to making their music, and their looks are just a bonus. We don't want to see our own flaws in idols which we look up to.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. We will move. I now call on the next speaker, the Deputy Prime Minister, to give their opening speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. You may begin now.
Good afternoon, everyone. We all know K-pop has become a well-known community that many people adore. But did you know behind the smiles of performers, there lays a dark side? The stress and pressure behind the perfect-looking K-pop idols are ruthless. Many K-pop agencies assign specific roles to how idols should look and act in public, with different personalities. Many K-pop idols have suffered depression from trying to cope with these two personalities. Also, this causes fake identity. This is bad for mental health and can lead to depression, which eventually leads to suicide, like in some cases. An example of this is Kim Jong-un. He was a main vocalist of the South Korean group, and he committed suicide at the age of 27. Of course, the agencies try to downplay these issues because in Korean culture, it makes them lose their business reputation. The agencies also lose their main source of income. The expectation of the K-pop industry is crazy. As for women, no matter how tall or how old you are, you can only weigh 47 kg at max, while their diet is strictly controlled. Imagine living a life where people monitor your weight, diet, and how you act. Supporting the facts of what Jermaine said, K-pop mainly rely on their looks to be known globally. There isn't anything special about their music except for the fact that it's in another language. Their music may sound catchy, but so is pop songs. Most of the time, K-pop lyrics don't even make sense. Here's a famous example from BTS Dynamite. Looking at this, do you think the lyrics make sense? Think about it, without the tunes and their shiny faces. This is no different from what the current generation calls mumble rap. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now move into 1 minute of POIs, beginning now.
How can you be certain that management and pressure were the cause of that idol's suicide?
There's been many cases like this. An example of this is a famous K-pop star, Sully, who committed suicide because of the amount of pressure. She had to take on two personality roles and she just couldn't take what she had to do. Every day they would have to act a different person on stage and off stage.
How does this all relate to music?
Well,
the music itself.
The music is created by these people, and I think it's good to know how the music is created behind the scenes of all this. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Your time for POI has now elapsed. I call on our next speaker, the Deputy Opposition Leader to give their opening speech. Please unmute your.
Good afternoon.
Right, you may begin.
Good afternoon, judges. Once again, we are on the K-pop genre.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. The next speaker is. I'm sorry. There's a mix-up, isn't there?
It's Phoenix, no, Ayana.
Yes, it is Phoenix Ayana, Deputy Opposition Leader. I'm sorry for the confusion. You may begin your speech now.
Good afternoon. My name is Ayana, and I'm the Deputy Opposition Leader. I believe that K-pop is not inferior to other genres, and here's some reasons on why me and my team believe this statement. Firstly, all music is neither inferior or superior because it is all really subjective, and it honestly depends on a matter of opinion. I would like to briefly point out that K-pop has one of the biggest fan followings in the world, and in 2018, the South Korean music market experienced a 17.9% increase in revenue growth, and it was described as shifting from potential to power player. The country also ranked at number 6 amongst the top 10 music markets worldwide. K-pop artists got over 41 billion streams from listeners worldwide, such as in countries like Peru, Canada, and France in 2019. K-pop artists are extremely talented. The K-pop industry is huge and global, which means it makes a lot of money. Will companies really invest huge amounts of money in untalented artists? Absolutely not. All the artists in the industry are extremely talented. The companies give them long training periods from a young age where they are taught on everything like dancing, vocal, producing, acting, rapping, etc. They all work extremely hard to deliver amazing performances all around the world and have rigorous training making them able to deliver these flawless performances. Having talented artists makes it a reason for its success, also meaning it is not inferior to other genres. To sum it all up, talented artists combined with hard work and passion with a distinctive musical style has undoubtedly taken the world by storm. People all over the world of all genders, ages, and nationalities enthusiastically enjoy K-pop. So how exactly does this make K-pop inferior to other genres of music?
Thank you very much. We will move into 1 minute of POIs, beginning now.
Does popularity determine a genre's superiority or make it less inferior?
No, not really. It really just depends on what your type of taste of music is. To you, it could be inferior or superior, but it's all just what you prefer listening to, not really what everyone else does.
Don't Western artists have to train as well? So what makes K-pop unique in this sense?
I'm saying that all these K-pop artists have like a really big passion and they train like really, really hard compared to a lot of other Western artists. And they're not exactly just like training in one set of like music, like for example, just country music. They also train in like vocals and producing and rapping.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. Please mute yourself. I now call on our next speaker, the Member of Parliament, to speak. If you could please unmute your mic and turn on your camera.
I apologize for what happened just now. I panicked.
It's all right. You may begin your speech now.
All right. Good afternoon, judges. Once again, we all know the K-pop genre of music has already become the biggest musical genre in the entire world of music. But here are some very disturbing facts about our widely popular genre. The Korean entertainment industry is highly racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, sexist, homophobic, and colorist. The idols are groomed to look and seem perfect, which can make youngsters insecure about their bodies, personalities, and looks. And not only that, because the idols are made to look perfect, it drives the youngsters to start up ideas of plastic surgery in order to match up their idol's appearance, which usually results in failed results and tons of money wasted. Because of long practices, artists usually have zero time to contact their parents or even see them. According to ex-female K-pop idol Kong Yoo-jin, any meetings with their parents are rare and they have zero privilege of using their phones for entertainment purposes. Therefore, the effects of unable to meet their parents and the fact there is also no freedom in their training adds up that they live a rather unhealthy life leads to pressure, anxiety, and eventually depression. As for the effects towards the listener, K-pop acts like a disease that crawls into your mind and implants itself in there, thus creating an addiction towards the style of music K-pop is based on, which results also in the listener to get distracted from both their educational and social roots in their lives. This is proven in various students in our school where students, usually female ones, once addicted to K-pop slowly dropped in terms of education. This is because students end up listening to the songs every single time, whether in class secretly or while doing homework. It causes them to get distracted and thus making them like drop in certain values. K-pop's fandom is also a place of hell where the hardcore fans occasionally trash talk each other, claiming which groups are better. These arguments result in tons of cases of cyberbullying, which involve
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. We will move into 1 minute of POIs, beginning now.
How can you call K-pop a sickly disease when the groups like BTS have campaigned and promoted self-love and even helped UNICEF ambassadors? What do you say about this?
How to say this? It's like you can take like a lot of like for example my cousin or like a lot of students in our school. Usually, right, usually when they talk for like in homeworks, they usually talk about like a lot of like they get distracted very easily. And then like once you only need to put on the word K-pop and they just started rambling about it.
What evidence do you have for this addiction you mentioned?
Right. I've seen a lot of students in my school, preferably in my year, that have this kind of addiction.
Do you think your year alone is a good standard for the world?
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed for POIs. I call on the member of opposition to give their speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. Thank you. You may begin your speech now.
Hi, my name is Xander and I'm a member of the opposition. I believe that K-pop is not an inferior music genre. All music genres are inferior or superior. It's all a matter of opinion. K-pop fans have been credited with new acts of activism. They have taken down police-created applications to get information about protesters from Black Lives Matter. The BTS Army also matched the 1 million donation of the band to BLM with lightning pace, attracting praise from across the internet. The broader community may be shocked to see these online fandoms functioning in this manner, but that just shows, in part, an implicit prejudice against those communities, one that sees them as just screaming teenage girls, and does not take into account that standing is just one aspect of their personality, and not one that neglects intellect, values, empathy, drive, or strength automatically. It also overlooks the past of the spearheading revolt of young people and how diverse these fan bases really are. Earlier this year, Blackpink's Blinks operated a project to assist those in the Philippines affected by the Taal volcano. Armies have run more than 600 charities initiatives in the fandom, coordinated by fan-based teams representing their respective countries and unique charity organizations such as BTS for Charity or Barahe Team of Singapore. With the Mono Forest initiative, they have regrown forests, adopted whales, red squirrels, ducks, and more, and donated food and clothing to those in need. Projects differ from causes that align with the topic that BTS members care about in order to respond to worldwide crisis. Not only that, but the members of BTS also donate their money to causes.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. We will now move into 1 minute of POIs, beginning now.
Are you aware that these K-pop communities you said also witch hunt any people who dare speak out against K-pop?
I'm aware of that, but then again, they still have the power to do good.
And how is this actually relate to the music.
It shows that their music can inspire good things to happen.
What makes them what makes their donations unique? Western artists do this all the time as well.
It makes them unique because their fans basically go off and do their own donations too, and donations that help their countries.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed.
Thank you.
I now call on our next speaker to speak. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera. You may begin.
He's muted.
Please unmute your mic.
Oh, sorry. To summarize,
you may begin now.
Okay. To summarize everything my group said, K-pop is inferior to other genres of music because they're only known for their looks, and their lyrics make no sense whatsoever. And the fan base is full of toxicity. The opposition said that they promote like self-love and positivity, unlike Western music, which they usually sing about sexual things, right? But if you look at this Ice Cream by Blackpink and Selena Gomez, their lyrics may seem innocent in a way, but if you like look deeper, the way they phrase it, it sounds kind of sexual. Like, I'll give in like an example. Coldest with the kiss, so you can call me ice cream, catch me in the fridge where the ice be. Like, you can take that either the other way, or you're the cherry piece, just stay on top of me so I can't see nobody else for me. Another example. Supporting Walkin's point, the Korean music industry damages them mentally and emotionally, which can eventually lead to suicide. This can be caused by the overall lack of freedom, and like they can't really socialize a lot, because like if you're in a K-pop band, let's say BTS, you don't really see them leaking out their personal lives, because according to the statistics, 63% female and 37% male. 37% male. If BTS were to leak their like significant other, as in like their girlfriends, the female audience would drop significantly, as they know they have no chance anymore. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. We'll now move into our final minute of POIs for the government. You may begin now.
Why does it matter that the lyrics to a song are sexual?
Oh, the opposition said that, yeah, like Korean bands, they promote self-love, positivity, and very rarely sexual like lyrics. But it's like Western music and Korean music. Like, you can see Korean music, they do it right, but they do it in a more sly way, so people like can misunderstand. Like, they're saying, oh, Korean music is cleaner than Western music, so you gotta listen to Korean music. Yes.
But isn't Western music also sexual?
Yes, but then you can really tell, like, the lyrics have some sort of meaning to them, while Korean music is just a bunch of words slapped together to make it rhyme, and then it just sounds sexual.
It sounds sexual, but doesn't mean anything
Thank
sexual.
you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. And I now call on our last speaker for today, the opposition whip, to give the final speech. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera.
All right, can I start now?
You may begin.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Yiting and I'm the opposition whip. My group firmly believes that K-pop is not inferior to other genres of music. First of all music is based on opinion. Just because one person likes a certain type of music more than the other, it doesn't mean that one music is worse than the other. During the Korean wave, K-pop had become incredibly popular, proving it's a favorite genre of many people all over the world. K-pop was ranked the 7th most popular music genre worldwide in 2019, with over 134 billion minutes of K-pop streamed on the music platform Spotify as of early 2020. K-pop music and its idols have millions of fans all over the world from many different countries. Before COVID-19 limited travel and social gatherings, many K-pop concerts in massive stadiums around the world were sold out. In mid-2019, BTS held a concert at the Wembley Stadium, the largest sports venue in the UK with a seating capacity of 90,000, and it was completely sold out in under 90 minutes. They've done this on multiple occasions, as well as some of the other really popular groups. Another reason why people really like K-pop would be the quality of the videos. K-pop spends a lot of money making the music, and also the K-pop companies spend a lot of money making the music and hiring video production staff, foreign music producers, props, and more just to make videos. The cost of living and training for 5 idols is about $480,000 a year, and they train for more than 2 years before they even debut. Overall, it costs about $1.8 million to make an album and train a group for debut, so it's obvious a lot of money is invested in the K-pop group before they even debut, and more when they become popular. The K-pop genre has created an entire community of fans who defy the stereotype of streaming teenage girls. They've accomplished great things like running donation initiatives. Some of their most notable accomplishments include matching BTS's $1 million donation to Black Lives Matter and taking down police-created applications and filling negative hashtags with idol group fan cams. In conclusion, there's plenty of proof backing the fact.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. We will move on to our final minute of POIs for today. You may begin now.
Bands like Nirvana and One Direction have also sold out concerts under 90 minutes too. So why is it different to K-pop?
I'm not saying that any other group is less popular than K-pop, but I'm just pointing out that they are incredibly popular because they've been able to achieve things like this, meaning that it isn't fair to say that they're inferior because there are plenty of people who think that this is their favorite type of music.
You have stated that they donated to good causes. How is this different from other Western artists that donate as well?
Well, we're not saying that K-pop is the only people who donate, but the fact that they do so much and have participated in over 600 charity initiatives is a testament to how much they care about the world and how much they are not the toxic people that they are.
Thank you very much. Your speaking time has now elapsed. And that brings us to an end for our Year 9 debates. Big thank you to everyone. Thank you, audience, for sitting through our debate. This is the end of the Year 9 preliminaries on the topic, is K-pop inferior to other genres of music? Big thank you to all the judges and debaters again. Don't forget, there's tomorrow's debate, which is Year 8, on the topic of this House believes that the UN is ineffective. Again, at 3 p.m. tomorrow for Year 8 preliminaries, this House believes that the UN is ineffective. Have a nice day, everyone. The results will be released soon and hope to see you tomorrow.